All right, buddy, you getting everything? All right, let's go. Can you open the door for me, bud? Oh, it turned off. All right, let's go. Yeah, sit in the booster seat, bud. Okay, here's snug. Awesome, love you, buddy. Love you, buddy. No air, heated seats. Alrighty, you're all buckled up, right, bud?
Yep.
Awesome. All right, buddy. We're almost to school. You ready for the drop?
Yep.
Awesome, bud. All right, dude. I'll be back to pick you up.
Okay.
All right, love you. Have a good day. All right, bye. See you later, buddy. You too. All right, so welcome to a 2024 Grand Highlander review. This is for anybody who's interested in purchasing one of these vehicles. So I'm going to be just going over some of the new things that we found that we have problems with, and then also some of the things we like and what's going on. I got a video where I showed how much I paid for the car. I'm not sure exactly what's going on with the market now, if they're up in price or if things have settled out. I know that they weren't selling them for a while because of the airbag recall, which we have fixed, by the way. And also now we do have 2 key fobs, but let's get into it. All right, cool. How many? We got 10,761 miles since the last update, or excuse me, I think I did the last one was about 2,000 miles. So it's been on a couple road trips. Average mileage, we're being 21.9, depending on highway driving and all that kinds of stuff. So initially, we all know that there was an airbag recall for everything that was going on inside these A-pillars here. We have had that fixed. I guess what they did was they just replaced it with some new airbags that won't fly out the window if your window's down while you're driving. So it wasn't that bad of a fix. We took it into the Toyota dealership. The rep was really nice, accommodated us. It did take, we had to leave the car overnight, but they also gave us the key fob at the same time. So that update is totally taken care of. The things that my wife has reported that she has been noticing, and I think this is completely normal for all new infotainment vehicles when it comes to Toyota, when the new generation, sometimes she will report to me that the screen will completely black out and it won't come back on, or it'll reboot, and it'll happen while she's driving, or it won't come on when she starts the car.
I'm driving and my radio is not on and it won't come on. And it usually comes right on.
So I don't know if there's a bug or an update that Toyota needs to come out with to fix that. Not 100% sure. I noticed for me, when I drive the car, I don't drive it that much. I got my Tacoma that I'm always driving. I haven't had the issue yet, but she drives this thing. So I'm going to start asking her to report what the frequency of that is. So a lot of cons when it does come to the new Toyota systems with the new infotainment system. You're going to be paying, let's see here, you're going to be paying for a lot of the app functions and features when it comes to things such as remote start, internet, and I'm not 100% sure what else. And it can go anywhere from what I'm reading, $15 to almost $30 a month. So we don't do any of that. One thing, as I will show here, is I know Scotty Kilmer put out a video just recently talking about for the remote start. He kind of gave half truth to that. It was kind of a clickbaity video. I can't blame him for that. I love Scotty Kilmer. I've been watching his videos for years. The Grand Highlander that we have, which is the just regular gas, naturally has a turbo aspiration in there. It has the remote start feature with the limited edition, and you could use it with the key fob. The difference is that you got to have the key fob within the distance of the car to be able to turn it on. And what happens is you click it 3 times, then you hold it on the 3rd time, and you will have a remote start capability. You don't have to pay monthly for that. If you're going to use the app, you do have to. If you wanted to lock or unlock your car anywhere in the world, you're going to be paying the subscription fee for that, which kind of sucks because you don't have access to it or whatever. The other thing is if you're going to use your vehicle as a Wi-Fi hotspot, you're going to pay for that. Bluetooth, satellite, all that kind, or excuse me, satellite, not Bluetooth. You're going to pay for your satellite like Sirius. We do pay for Sirius satellite radio, so it hasn't been a big deal. Yeah, my son's back there. He's going a little crazy. Let's get him out of the seat. Hey, buddy. Hi, buddy. My son's always grabbing the microphone. But anyway, this is how we have the back seat set up. We got his Duna there. My son either sometimes sits in the way back with the child seat there, the booster seat here. This is a pretty good configuration for when we go and pick up his friends. Yeah, what do you think, dude? Yeah? Just give you a nice little tour of the front driver area, seeing everything you have access to. You got some memory seating there. There's all your window controls, window locks. All of these windows have automatic up and down. Here we have the auto high beams, a heated steering wheel. I'm not 100% sure what that blank one is. That's probably for the platinum features. There's your trip odometer and obviously pretty standard light switches. You got auto headlights or manual, whichever way you want to do it, plus your fog light controls. Let's see. Here's the steering wheel with all the different assortments of everything going on there. So obviously you got your volume controls and you can kind of cycle through all your menus on how you want to look at things, where it has basically a Sirius satellite radio if you want to see that, or if you want to see what kind of gas mileage or mode you're in. The eco mode, all you got to do is just toggle these switches. So everything here, this is a LED screen. There's no original gauges or anything like that. So infotainment center, basically just keep it on this. This has wireless Android Auto and or Apple CarPlay. So that's been pretty cool because all our 2018 Highlander did not have that with that infotainment center. So that's been a nice additive. Let's see, you got wireless charging on the inside there. You got multiple USB ports everywhere, and to include over here on the side, they're all USB-C, heated and ventilated seats. This is the passenger seat. You got a glove box in there, extremely deep. You can see we keep baby wipes and everything. There's a lot of space in here to put stuff, especially if you need, I don't know, you can hide a purse in here. You could put almost, I don't know, you could put about at least a whole pack of diapers in here, baby wipes, you name it. Moving on over here, this is the auto start function when you, or auto on when you come to a stoplight. This is the toggle it on and off. You have to do that every single time if you don't want that to happen. So it's kind of annoying. This is for traction control. We only have the front wheel version. So if you wanted to turn that off and I don't know, you're trying to figure out how to do donuts from the front. And if you could figure out how to do that, let me know. That would be an awesome trick. I don't know how to do donuts from the front too well. I mean, you can kind of do some slides. That's how you turn that on and off. Eco mode. So I push the button. The car's already in the eco mode, as you can see there. So now what you do is if you want to go to the sport mode, you can push sport and then it switches over to sport there. It just gives you better throttle response. I think it changes the timing just a little bit. Maybe it adds a little bit more fuel to make it feel like you're going a little faster. It definitely changes the transmission RPM settings. So therefore you have a little bit quicker, higher or lower shift points. I'm not 100% sure on that, but it does make the car feel a little bit more peppy. Snow control. So obviously that, your front or your front tires as they're trying to grab and move through an icy condition or through a snow condition will change and shift, and it also adjusts the automatic braking system to alleviate the fact hopefully it doesn't lock up, or it changes the speed in which they lock up. Well, buddy, all right, he's giving you a tour basically of the he took it. All right, he's giving you a tour. There's the shifter, real simple. My wife's got her hair bands there. All the controls going all the way across, real simple. You got all your normal stuff, each dual climate zones from there to there, all your standard switches kind of changing and toggling how you want things to go. Fan controls, you can sync it, you can unsync it. And there's a fan control. It's also linked with the infotainment center so you can see what it is. There is heated and cooled ventilation in the back. You can see the vents here. And I don't know if you're going to be able to see that, but there's the switch panel for that, and tons of cup holders everywhere. So as far as road tripping on this car, it's been very, very convenient. It is the turbo 4-cylinder, and quite honestly, we haven't had an issue with power or anything like that. The one complaint that my wife definitely has is this. All right, so the hatch. Yeah, this hatch, it does not open. Just all of them are like that now. I think Toyota completely has scrapped the hatch opening, because our 2018 opened and it was freaking awesome. So, well, I don't know, because we used to just cram stuff in here even more and then close that. But that's the one thing that my wife is really disappointed about with this car. So good luck trying to find one. I don't know if any other brands do have the hatch here that opens. Not 100% sure on that. But man, whew, it is cold. It's 30s in Florida. What's going on? So, like I said, in the rear, pretty standard. You got the sunshades. They're great for shielding the sun for when our 9-month-old is in this. But you can see, there you go. My 6-year-old has got that all set up the way he needs to. But booster seats here, a little bit better view of your control panel in there. Plus, you also get a 110 volt outlet down there. I'm not exactly sure on the wattage. I think maybe you could plug in like a laptop. I wouldn't plug in an air conditioner or anything. But heated seats in the rear. So all these are heated. They work really, really nice. It's very nice, especially for people living up north. The one thing, that's what I was going to talk about, is the sunroof here. Okay, moonroof. A lot of people have been reporting that the thing's leaking. I think it's possible that it could be user error. And I think that it's probably by the way Toyota designed this thing to open and close. So let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to open this up. There goes the shade. All right. Now, you don't have to do that. That's just the shade control, but I just wanted to show this. So I'm going to open this thing up all the way. All right, it's open. It's really cool. Just mind you, hot and cold, you lose a lot right here. It takes more energy from the air conditioner heater in order to heat up or cool the cabin. Something to think about. But I'm going to go ahead and close it automatically. So it's closing automatically. Notice I just pushed it once, and that is still open. So what I think a lot of people are doing is they'll just push it once and they'll leave that open. And what happens is you're going to get a lot of water intrusion because of that. It's not necessarily, I don't know if it's a user thing. I don't know if it's a bad design by Toyota, but you have to be cognizant. You got to go and push it one more time in order for it to do what it's supposed to. So that way you don't get any leaks. Here, I'm going to go ahead and open it again. And then if you keep your finger pressed on it, which we're going to experiment with here, and you sit here and you hold it, I'm going to keep my finger on there, and I'm holding it even longer. You notice how it still stays open. My finger's on it, it still stays open. It takes 2 steps to close it. So 2 steps to close it. So if you are in a hurry, you're dropping the kids off at school like what I just did, you're not cognizant of what's going on, and then it rains, you're going to have a bad day. So think about that. That's something to consider. And maybe, I don't know, if Toyota can figure out how to reprogram that, that would probably be a pretty good idea. So let's close this back up. But the moonroof is really cool. It makes the cabin of the car feel a lot bigger. So ask me some questions, guys. What do you want to know about this car? I got no problem sharing my experience with it. The turbo 4-cylinder, we haven't had any issues with it. To my understanding, the transmission of this car is very similar to the Tacoma, which has been having torque converter issues. So I've been watching that very closely. Like I said, we got 10,761 miles on this car. Haven't had an issue yet. So as far as the 4-cylinder turbo, it's had plenty of power, hadn't had any issues with it. It's not as torquey. It doesn't feel as aggressive as the V6, but it does what it needs to do. We've driven this thing all the way up to God, where is the furthest we go? We've driven well over 300 miles and had no issues. So that's, I don't know. People will complain about that. And I haven't test drove the hybrid. I couldn't tell you the difference. I'm sure they advertise 330 horsepower versus the 274 or 276 in this thing. I'm sure it makes a difference, but I don't know. This is definitely not a race car. All right, taking a tour of the outside of the car. We got the running boards. My wife said they were very helpful when she was recovering from a C-section, so that's good to get in and out of the car. I'm not exactly sure 100% what the changes are on the 2025 model. I assume they're not going to be doing too much of a body style change just because they want to probably pump all these things out. I think they didn't go, well, when they had the airbag issue, they stopped selling them for about 4 months. So I'm pretty sure there's a backlog of the 2024s that need to get out in the market. But otherwise, it's been a decent car. You can't complain too much. There's some of the things that we wish we had in the 2018 Highlander into this, but you know what? Things are going to keep changing. There's nothing we could really do about it. Now, the one thing, when you take it into the dealer, to my understanding, if you haven't done your airbag update, they have to pull down the whole headliner. So anything that's in the seats, you're going to want to remove because they're going to get in there and they've got to replace all the airbags. From my understanding, they didn't just replace the driver's A-pillar. They had to do all of them. Or it's to the sense that if you look at the headliner here, the headliner is all one piece. So if it's all one piece, the whole thing has to come out in order to just get to that. So it's a major headache for what's been going on. I know the Tundra's been having tons of issues, the 22s, 23s, 24s, and I'm hearing reports that the 25s engines are failing. So Toyota, as the engineering standpoint, is putting a lot of stress on their technicians out there. So it's been an interesting, run for Toyota lately. But the crazy thing is Tundra sales are up and they're actually going through the roof, which makes no sense to me. Either way, we chose the all-weather floor mats because these are easier to clean in my opinion. The front seat here does have mechanical or electric seating, however you want to say it. Here's another airbag. I don't think they touched these. But there's a view of the side. We got the faux wood, which I'm pretty sure this is just a vinyl wrap on plastic. Let's see. But here you go, the passenger side view. 100% honesty, I sat back here and I sat there for about an hour and 30 minutes. And I'm 5'10", I weigh about 240 pounds. I felt pretty comfortable back here. It was not a big deal. So that was really cool. Plus, I got my own USB-C. You can see my son uses it there for his iPad when he's charging it. And that's what he does on a long road trip. He either sits back here or we move the seat up in the front here and we put him there. And I know there's a lot of people saying never put your child in the way back. I get it. I understand. The point is, though, do your best to not get in a car wreck. Be a vigilant driver. Be a safe driver. Be a defensive driver. And we haven't had an issue. So he does enjoy sitting back there. All the people out there. The other thing is, depending on how big your family is, this is just right for us. We chose the captain's configuration because it does make the car feel bigger on the inside. In a way, it could be a pro or a con because we're missing out on the center seat. So if you do have the bench, you can actually fit another person right there. So technically speaking, you have seating for 8 in this because we're limited seating for 7. Yeah. Oh, yes. Okay. Cabin boom. As I've been driving this car, I have noticed like noise. When you go on the freeway, if you're going over a rough patch or something, I wonder if it's because the car weighs and it's designed with real thin metal and it's got a really big cabin on the inside. I'm wondering if you run over something like a bump with your tires, it reverberates into the cabin and you get this like kind of a echo effect. I guess it could be mildly annoying. And I know people have reported that. If you have sensitive ears, you're probably going to pick it up if you're in this car, especially on a long road trip. I notice if you say you're at a supermarket and you're not paying attention and a speed bump comes up and you hit it, you're going to notice it then. It's going to be a big boom, like a thump. And it echoes throughout the cabin. It doesn't echo forever. It's just a real quick kind of resonant sound. I don't know how to explain that. Maybe the audio technicians out there and all the smart people that know everything when it comes to like physics can explain that. Put a comment below if you are one of those people. but it does do that. So I don't know if they're going to be fixing it. I think the easy fix, if they do it, is you just put more sound deadening in specific spots of the vehicle. Okay, I just thought of this. I need to go out to a dealer and see how much these things are actually going for now. I wonder what the market is. I'm not exactly sure. They're pretty popular when we were looking for them, especially the hybrid versions. So I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can do. Hey, put a comment below if you want me to go to a dealer and start looking at prices on these things. Well, unfortunately, everybody, that's going to have to conclude the video because my wife is taking the car to go get her hair done. However you guys say that now. But anyway, if you have any questions on the new Grand Highlander, let me know. Put them in the comments below. Be more than happy to answer anything that you want. Nope, there it goes. Bye, baby. Have a good hair appointment. She's taking it. She's on the roll. If you guys like this content, just go ahead and subscribe. I got more coming out. If you like car stuff, you got a video right here. If you like workout stuff, got a video right here or a playlist, either way. But that's what I like to do away from the flight deck. So I'll catch you guys next time.